It is 6:30, December 30th. We are calling this meeting to order. First part of business is to adopt the agenda.
I make a motion that we adopt the agenda as written or as posted.
Motion and a second. Anyone have anything they want to add?
No, thank you.
Okay, all in favor of the agenda, please say aye.
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 I abstain. I haven't had a chance to look at my packet yet.
Um, I think we will, because everyone else got it and it just takes three, we'll move on, but we'll notate that you did not get your packet in a timely manner. Reoccurring matters,
Actually, select board member remarks.
select board member remarks.
Yeah, I have something I'd like to say. So, several years ago, probably 10, I was visiting a friend over in upstate New York and went through a neighborhood and was surprised to see some of these big houses. One of them in particular had a heated driveway. And it's like, I've never seen a heated driveway in wintertime. And the snow just melted off and it was like, oh my gosh. Was kind of weird to think of it that way. And what this is leading up to is that one of the things we do here in the select board is we try to make sure that we're, acting responsibly about how we spend money and how we operate in our town. And I'm concerned, I learned 2 or 3 years ago that we have a heated garage for our recreation department. And I found that to be troubling when I learned of it 3 years ago. And I've been working month by month, year by year. I mention it probably 6 or 8 times a year to find out when the recreation garage is going to not be heated anymore. And it shocked me when I learned again this year that we're still heating a recreation garage. And this is problematic. It's problematic in so many ways to think that, I don't know how many of you guys have heated garages. I certainly don't. The only people I know with a heated garage are garages that do work for a living. And that's why they need to be heated. And so I would like, at the very least, to have a complete inventory of everything in the recreation garage. And I want to, it's separated into which things need to be heated and which things don't need to be heated. And I would like to know why they can't be kept at the highway garage, which is also heated. And I would like that by, at the latest, tomorrow evening. Thank you. Then turn off the heater. You can go over there tonight and turn off the heater. Sure, put it on the
Selectman
record.
Giles. So again, I've been tasked with making sure that we take care of the balls, make sure they don't get frozen.
So this is to keep the balls from freezing?
Yeah, because they will
Then
deteriorate.
put them in the highway garage.
Okay. Well, I'll make again a direction from the select board member to.
Do we need a
Any direct
motion?
report?
I'm happy to make a motion. I make a motion that the select board direct to our management to turn off the heater in the recreation garage. Can I get a second, please?
I'll second it for discussion.
Second it for discussion.
I think that where is the I don't even know, where is the recreation
Water.
garage?
It's in wastewater.
Sewer?
It's down in the sewer?
And I've tried for 3 years to gently prod and gently encourage them to empty that garage of whatever needed to be heated so we could turn it off. And once again, we're spending the entire winter heating that garage.
I have a question. What is it heated to?
It's heated to 48 degrees.
Oh, okay. So it's just barely not freezing.
Correct.
And that uses
Okay.
all the same amount of energy. It's almost the same because this is a garage. This is not a home that has fully insulated doors and windows and all this. This is a garage.
Okay.
So may I address the select board, Mr. Giles? So I was tasked with taking care of all of the equipment that I'm purchasing. I'm spending not an insignificant amount of money to support our programming. One of the things that does require heating are the balls. I've moved a lot of balls out of there. There are still some balls that need to be kept warm. Again, as the plastic gets cold, it does crack and does degrade degrade. And again, it seems as though you're very passionate about this. And again, I appreciate your passion, your concern. I don't appreciate your directive to come in on day off and make sure I take care of moving that stuff out of there. I again have been directed with taking care of the equipment, which I've done dutifully, especially since the storage space at the Neshabe Elementary School is limited, and I'm limited in what I can bring in and out of there. But yeah, we can shut it off and let the balls fall where they go.
Great, thank you.
I would offer that this feels to me like the micromanagement that has been argued against in other places. And I would not know the slightest thing about I don't know what is in that rec department garage, nor do I know how it is supposed to be kept. So I am not prepared to give any directive on how the rec director should take care of the specifics of their job when it comes to what temperature balls have to be heated
So
to.
to suggest that taking care of soccer balls is outside of your body of knowledge is absurd. We all have sports equipment in our garages. None of us need a degree to understand how to care for our sports equipment. This is not expensive things that are going to freeze and somehow break. These are balls, soccer balls, maybe some basketballs. And right, I've tried the subtle 2 or 3 years, gently prodding. I'm done. I am done.
May I suggest maybe that if, I understand your passion, I understand Bill's situation. Can we just expect that Bill can update us on it at the next meeting? Because it is a holiday, New Year's Eve and whatever, so I think if he has a chance to look at it, tell us exactly what's there, give him an opportunity to see if there's a place to store those things differently, then we could look at that. I mean, I have no idea how insulated the building is or isn't or whatever, how the heat, how much we spend on heat. I guess I'd love to have that kind of knowledge.
Is that tied in with the sewer department? Electricity, is it electric heat? That we're
No,
using?
it's propane heat.
It's propane, so it's a separate.
It's a separate heater. It's one of those, it's like the kind you have in here that runs just to heat that garage.
Okay.
I can provide a report to you, Chair Bailey.
Would you be satisfied with that? And then we can look at it again and
Yes, I'm happy to wait a few days. I would like to find out how much stuff needs to be heated and why it can't be in the highway garage.
all right. So then instead of voting on it, we will table it for now,
We
but
can
bring it
pass
up
over.
again at the. Okay, good. Seth has a commitment at 7:00, so I'm trying to move this along. I'm sorry.
Could we skip the number 8 till the next meeting?
Uh,
I
when
would
we
rather
when we
not.
get to it. Well, I haven't had a chance to look at my packet because I didn't receive it till after 4 today.
Number 8 is a budget item that we actually talked about and voted on
Yeah,
weeks
Well, I-
ago.
there's
I would
not
prefer
any,
to do it at the next time. It's
Well,
not
let's wait
that
till we get
urgent.
to the item and we'll find out if we have to pass it or not.
okay, I think we could take all of the minutes together with
Sure.
you've got a correction on 1 minute there.
Yes, Mr. Chair, members of the board, Charlene brought to our attention that it was brought to her attention that on page 1 of the December 16th hearing minutes for the Blue O hearing, the second from last paragraph toward the bottom of the page, it says Ms. DeSorda stated the lot sizes have been decreased to 0.2 acre for residential, and in the designated village, it is 0.25 acre. That 0.25 should read 0.125, which is 1 acre.
We have a motion, possibly a consent on all the minutes.
I make that motion.
I'll second.
Motion in a second, consent, all the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The warrant.
I make a motion that we accept the warrant for $109,995.25.
I'll second.
I do two quick questions I asked Seth. He can give us a quick answer here on page 2, the body armor carriers.
Right, so that's the, like the bulletproof vests for the police. And they do have like expiration dates in the same way that child seats now come with expiration dates and so forth. That was partially grant funded from VLCT. So we did receive the check from VLCT today for 1/3 of that amount. And the rest would go in the budget under professional supplies, which is an $8,000 line item, and it does have room. It won't be an overspent line
Yeah,
item.
I just thought carrier sounded like some place to put
It's
them when they're not.
it's the vest with the little thing for the camera.
And it's actually the body armor, not really a carrier. I mean,
Yeah, I
was taking it as
It's
a,
not a great description
yeah,
there. Yes.
okay. And then on page 4, the Miller Hill Farm, some trees.
So that was, I checked, that was actually shrubbery and perennials for the stormwater system rain gardens.
Oh.
So that was placed on Park Street and Pearl Street in the rain gardens. And it seems the best place to address it because we don't have a stormwater system line item in the budget. And I did talk to Jeremy, and that's a $15,000 line item that we've not spent $1,000 of yet, though we expect to spend some.
Okay.
So that happened earlier in the fall and we're just getting the build.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
I was kind of questioning that too.
Yep.
Yeah,
Any-
a lot of
any
a
other
lot of the
questions on
plants.
warrant?
that they had died, so they had to replace.
No other warrant questions. All in favor of paying the bills, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, no one.
I'll abstain.
Abstain. Town managers report.
Thank you, Mr. Chair and members of the board. I did submit the report in advance. It's been a little bit quiet in terms of dealing with our state partners and stuff like that around the holiday. So I don't have anything to add to it since I prepared the report, which was, I believe, Friday.
And I had one real simple question on that.
Yeah.
On the first page of the paragraph that gets in about the plowing. And it says Brandon does not have a Bear Roads winter operation policy. Can you just, what is Bear? Tell me what that. means
So,
for a second.
we have a safe roads at safe speeds policy, meaning that especially as happened recently, which was it snowed during the daytime when people were coming to and from work and so forth. Thankfully, it was not a school day. There's going to be times when the roads are going to accumulate snow on them faster than we would like it to, given the number of operators and the amount of equipment that we have out there to clear the roads.
We actually do have a policy that states that.
It's the winter operations policy that I think the board last revised it last year, last updated it.
We did, I remember.
That's my only question, town manager. Anyone have any other questions for the town manager?
No.
No, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Town Manager. Community development report.
A written report, just want to, I guess, verbally report on a couple new offerings upstairs at the town hall. It's a concert this weekend, Adam and the Orbits on the 4th of January, upstairs, $10 admission. I also want to report on the fact that we have started officially, or our contractor's been given permission to start doing the demo on our project at 110 Newton Road. It was appealed by the Development Review Board. Oh gosh, so what I'm looking for, Larry? No, a code enforcement officer's decision was appealed to the Development Review Board by a neighbor, and the Development Review Board issued on the 19th of November a finding that sided with our officer, and the 20-day period pass, or 30-day period pass for the appeal. So, and we got extensions from FEMA to do the demo. So the 110 Newton Road will be demolished by Bowen Excavating. And that is my community development report for today.
Questions for Bill?
No.
Hey, selling of the town assets using, Municibid. Give us that.
Mr. Chair, so the board allowed use of Municipid to sell a couple of things last summer and it went very well. I outlined that purchase or that process in my little memo to the board there. And what I'm asking for now is the board to basically find that using Municipid to dispose of assets such as we have 4 vehicles ready to go, using Municipid that it would satisfy the provisions of the town's policy, which was also provided in the packet, without requiring that laying over of the meeting. Basically, I'm trying to be able to enter into the Municipid auction for these items and have the winning bidder actually be the winning bidder without a condition of waiting for a select board acceptance and then laying it over to the next meeting to actually approve it.
Right. I've looked at this and spoken with Seth about this, and as you may recall, this was a original policy that I was involved in helping to draft, and I feel that this Municipid completely satisfies the transparency concern that I originally had with making the sale of town asset policy. And so I suggest we add a line to our policy. We can call it we can include it in the policy as number 6 if we want. The use of Municipid satisfies the transparency requirement in the town and does not require a laying over for sale of items.
We have a second on that motion. You're making that as a motion.
I'll second that.
Well, I only have one question, Seth, and that's it. I mean, I assume you use your own logic and whatever. If we get a exceedingly low bid, we just don't make the sale. We don't have to sell.
We don't have to sell. We can put a number in there called a reserve, which is you can't even give a bid. If we say $500 and you bid $300, it just won't accept it.
Yeah.
And similarly, Seth assured me that even though that's going to Municipid, he's still going to continue with the habit of posting. So everybody in town knows that it's for sale and can participate in Municipid. So, I mean, it satisfies all of the things that we're trying to achieve, I think.
So it'll be in the reporter and.
It'll be in the
Porch and
reporter
all that
on the
stuff.
town website, Front Porch Forum. And if somebody comes in and they do not use a computer, we will do the bidding with them at the town office.
Okay, perfect.
And was this, I just want to give credit where credit's due, wasn't it? Was it Tom?
You know, Chief Kilpeck.
I think
brought that to our
so. That
attention.
brought that to our attention and kudos to him because
Worked out well.
this has already worked a few times. We've checked it out and keep it working.
Okay, we do have a motion and a second to approve this. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Okay. So,
Number 7.
yes,
I propose that we adopt the revisions to the Blue O.
I'll second.
motion and a second to adopt the blue law. We've already had our hearing. We've all been through that. I think any other questions on that? None heard. All in favor of adopting the blue law, please say aye.
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 And thank you to the committee that worked on that.
Planning Commission.
And opposed, no one, and you abstaining to that one? I know you said you wanted.
That
one,
would, that would, I'll, yeah, I'll agree to that one.
Okay, so now, as far as the budget, I would like to have Brian have his opportunity to, we voted on the budget once already. And we've made no changes on it since you were here, so. We are up against the timeline of getting it in the annual report. And I have not heard anyone have any suggested change that we should look at, is that correct?
No suggested changes have come to me, to my attention. I have no suggested changes to recommend.
So it is virtually the same as the,
It's entirely the same as on December 16th at the
Okay.
workshop.
It's the same budget, the same dollar figure, and a 2.58% increase. Nothing has changed.
Right, because at that meeting, Jackie had gotten all the insurance information and so forth that had an impact.
I feel comfortable voting on this tonight because we have all had multiple workshops to work on this and to say our piece. And I think probably everybody can relate to the feeling of not getting everything that they wanted, but that this was a budget that was developed and like we all played by the rules and this is the way it shook out. So there's things that I wish I, got my first choice on, and I'm sure Ralph feels the same and everybody else does too. And I think that this feels fair and like everybody was heard and had a chance to be heard. I feel very comfortable moving forward with voting on this.
I guess I would add that there's a printing imperative to try to get this ratified so we can, get it to the printer in a timely fashion.
Is there a question in particular that you had about it, Brian?
No, I know that the 13th is also an option. Gives plenty of time as an option. But if you don't want to do that, that's fine.
I had thought that part of the reason that we were having this meeting was to do that work.
There was the blue and the warrants for this meeting.
The 13th is not too late, but I will just say, I think I'm going to have to proceed. If you don't want to vote on it tonight, if you want to put it off till the 13th, I think I'm just going to have to proceed with the printing on the basis that nothing's going to change between now and the 13th. And we had talked about wanting to get the tax estimator out to folks and so forth. And, you have Sue's calculation that I sent that she provided. It's based on these numbers. And again, I think we have to kind of move forward as if this is the number.
I don't want to be the sole person to make the decision that we're going to do it tonight. So why don't we just go, you comfortable making a decision tonight, Ralph?
I am. Like
Heather,
I
you
can.
said you were.
Oh, absolutely.
You were. So we already got there. I don't want to be just my rule, so I think we need to vote on it. So who's going to make the motion?
I make a motion that we ratify the proposed fiscal year 26 budget that was produced by the workshop series this fall.
Do we have a second?
Do I need to? I should put the amount in there. Sorry, Charlene.
Okay.
With a total spending of $403,965 and the amount to be raised by taxes of $2,876,645, which represents an increase in spending of 2.25% and an increase in the amount to be raised by taxes of 2.5%.
Those numbers
Mouthful.
match yours, Seth?
Yes.
We have a motion in a second. Further discussion?
No, I thank everybody in the budget committee for the hard work and patience that everybody had.
All in favor of the motion, say aye.
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 No, and also in the further discussion part, it's pretty sad in my book. We actually had a chance this year to have a lower municipal budget with what's coming with the state and the school. I think we're in trouble. We're not doing the taxpayers any favor. We could have had ours go down. We chose not to. The state's going up 5.9%. The school will be going up well over 5%. Yet we aren't looking out for the best interest of the majority of the people in Brandon.
Just
And I'll be opposed to this and say no, and that's it.
to be clear, all through, I had heard you agree with most of what was in the budget, I thought. What are the parts that you disagree with? Just so that when we're having conversations with voters, we can explain what specifically you're
We had
bothered
a
by.
very realistic chance to bring the police force down to a
Okay.
manageable number, yet we chose not to.
So it's specifically the police that is bothersome to you.
The police and a little bit of excessive spending, but mostly the police.
Which excessive spending?
It's mostly the police, and we'll just move on from there.
Well, I would like to know, because if you're going to be speaking out against a budget that all 5 of us worked on with a 5-person budget committee, I want to be sure that I'm prepared to have discussions that are very concrete and not just broad stroke, I don't like it, but what are the
I was
specifics?
in favor of lowering the police
So
one
it's,
more person.
okay.
I think. I
And what
made
was
that
the other
perfectly
excessive
clear.
spending? Because I did not feel there was any excessive spending. We went through line by line. So if there was, we somehow missed an
We have
opportunity
been
for you to
over
speak up about a
excess-
specific line.
You know what? I'm not going to have this conversation with you at this time.
Okay.
Public comment and participation. We have a public of 1 in a short meeting. Would you have anything you'd like to share?
You didn't do your appropriation yet.
Oh, okay. That isn't on
Uh,
here, if
Doug,
anything.
Doug,
Yes,
sorry, I did not hear who seconded the motion.
I think
Ralph.
Ralph.
I did.
Ralph?
Yep.
Thank you.
okay, so
I'll make a motion on that. I move to place on the ballot an article requesting $50,000 to be raised by taxes and appropriated for capital funding.
we have a second on that.
Second.
Motion and a second on that. Again, this was voted at the last budget meeting. Any additional discussion since that night? All in favor of the $50,000 appropriation for capital, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
Opposed.
Now we get public comment. Ray, you got something to say?
I know.
Okay, well, we always like to hear things.
Yes. This police budget, was this budget before or after I guess we lost 2 officers now? Was this budget before or after them? Because it seems like we got an awful lot of budget for 2 less officers and a dog to feed.
If we lost 2 officers, you know something we don't know.
I'm not aware that we've
We
lost
only
2
know of 1
officers.
officer.
Just one
This one.
And a dog.
and a dog.
I hope that's a rumor, Ray. The second one.
Doesn't matter to me. They don't, yeah. you
This
just-
one.
Okay.
To
So does
answer your
that,
question though, yes, the budget is not replacing the officer who we know to be leaving.
okay,
Not
And
replacing
leaving
that, but having the ability to have part-time officers without benefits paid.
so why don't we get rid of all of them, just do part-time subcontracted out? Then we have nothing.
But we still have the chief and 5 officers that are.
Wasn't saying get rid of all of them, the subcontractor all out. Then we are at no. You know, there's no benefits, there's nothing. You're here as a paid employee without,
That
I'm
was
just-
looked at many years ago, and to have the town go with the sheriff's department, and the sheriff's department can't do anything except speeding tickets and
Can't they deliver
we-
papers?
Deliver
Civil service.
papers, serve papers. But they don't work on any crimes, burglaries, or anything like that. And the state police has told us they do not have the manpower to be here. They would be on call and get here when they can, so that's kind of been discussed quite a bit. But the idea of having a 1 or 2 part-time officers that work only on an hourly rate and do not receive benefits is what they would be used to round out the schedule and have less schedule.
Thank
Okay.
you.
You've got to go.
Thank you, Seth.
Anything else anyone wants to bring up before we adjourn?
No. Oh, I have one, which is just a public, I forgot to say it at the beginning, but in conversation with a medical professional in Brandon, she just complimented the town on having Narcan available. The I don't know what else, what do you call it, Bill? It's for mitigating a drug overdose, right?
Yes.
So Narcan is for mitigating drug overdoses, and it's available and free at the town office. And this healthcare professional just like basically was complimenting the town and said, you know, this should be publicized more often because I have accessed this and given it to people as they've needed it. And it's been hugely helpful. So I'd like to protect their privacy, but just to keep the word out that all you have to do is walk in and grab a backpack and it's like ready to go. Nobody needs to know who or what you use it for. I keep one in my car.
I'd have to say, all praises to town clerk and treasurer Sue Gage. It was a directive of hers, and it was important to her to do, and she's been good about making sure it happens.
Doug,
Yes.
sorry. I know you took the vote on the appropriation. I did not hear a final vote on the actual ratifying the budget.
4-1.
I know the motion was made and seconded, but I didn't hear the vote.
4-1.
4-1. Thank you.
4-1 on both the budget and on the appropriation.
On both. Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anyone have anything else?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor of adjournment?
Aye.
Aye.